Hello, everyone. I am Val Jean, and this is my world, at least the way I see it. If you are happy with the current administration, keep walking. This is not the channel for you. If you are unhappy and you want something to do about the current situation, come on in, have a seat, um, get a pencil and a piece of paper because I give homework and we'll see what we can do. And my cousin Michelle is in the house. Thank you so much, baby girl. I appreciate it. And thank you for the link you sent this morning. There was so much in there, I did not know where to go with it. So I'm going to chew on that for a little bit because it was like, I cannot. There has been a lot going on this past week. There's a lot we can't do anything about. We can keep writing. Okay, here's the problem. Hello, my dear cousin. How you doing? Thank you for coming. Um, let's do the light stuff first. Last Friday was the last day for the IRS workers who took their buyout. So starting today, the IRS is missing I don't know how many thousand workers. So if you have scheduled an appointment with the IRS to go into the office to talk to somebody, call the office and make sure that they are still open, because the powers that be who gave the people the buyout did not stop to figure out how many people they actually needed to keep the offices open. And so some of the IRS field offices have closed. So if you have and they didn't tell the people making the appointments that they were going to have to close the offices. So if you've called into the IRS and you've scheduled an appointment like you should have done before you go to your appointment, call them, make sure that that office is still open. If not, you're going to have to call the IRS again and find out, schedule another appointment. You know what? Call around and see what office is open in your area. So when you call to make an appointment, you can tell them where your appointment needs to be, because they have not been given that information yet. So they'll just pick their normal go to. The left hand did not know what the right hand was doing. That's just all that happened. Yes, and hello to the lurkers. Appreciate you. So that's one nonsense going on. They have removed the sanctions from the Russian banks. So Putin has the ability to start funneling money into this country. Yeah, like we need to be more involved with Putin, right? And that is a prize to no one in this country, right? Well, only the people who actually listened to the rhetoric and believed it. Because during the campaign, everybody was talking about 2025 and that it was this 900 and whatever page manifesto. I knew they were going to hit the high points. I was hoping that, somewhere deep down in their cold, dried up hearts, they would skip over some of the stuff because there's so much stuff in there. They can't implement it all. Well, so far, it doesn't look like they're skipping over anything. Yes, Russia's going to buy Tesla. Does Elon know that Russia's going to buy Tesla? Because Elon is on the warpath. Let's start a smear campaign for that, and then we can control. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Well, you know what? We wrote about that before. We wrote about that when they were buying the cryptocurrency. And remember, they had that big ball down in Florida? Yeah. And now 47 is selling fragrances out of the White House. I don't know why we can't get that stopped. I don't know why. Well, I don't know why. Elon thought the idiot was smart, so there's that. There is that. There is that. Ooh, and with that being said, let's and you hit right on where we were going to start, because I got a couple of things going on with the with the muskrat. I was trying to remember what we called him because we haven't talked about him in a while. But yes, the muskrat has a lot to answer for. Oh my gosh, I got so many tabs open here. I don't know where we're going. Okay, we're going to go here. Lord, yeah. Some of it's funny, some of it's just so sad that, it's just beyond sad. Roberta, welcome in. So good to see you. Mhm. Well, yeah. Well, they said that they came out the commentator, I'll just say, I heard it on the Midas Touch this morning. Ben Masalis was talking about it, and because everybody had already talked about his body odor from his incontinence and diarrhea. So he came up with the fragrances to mask that, allegedly. You're taking notes. Okay, I have to put all these in the description because I was listening to so much this morning trying to figure out A, why are they so stupid, and B, what we can do about it. Yeah. I know you did, baby girl. You got a lot going on. So, yeah, yeah, you got a lot going. If you let Russia run. See? Yes. Yes. Yes, but see, that's his daddy. Now, we're gonna have some fun before we get into the real heavy stuff. Cause I love me some Tabitha.
Rid of the Republican
Oh,
Party
wait a minute. Let me
altogether.
turn her up. For some reason, this one on her is really, really soft. So I have to remember to turn it down when we play the other ones, or it's gonna blast everybody's hearing. This one, I don't know why she's so soft. Oh, you might have to turn your volume up.
The Porky Pig Party. He wants to start a new party. I'm here for it. Demolish the Republican Party. Elon Musk tweets, if this insane spending bill passes, the America Party will be formed the next day. Our country needs an alternative to the Democrat Republican Uniparty so that the people actually have a voice. Again, I'm not bringing the Democrats in this. This is a Republican Party problem. You got Elon Musk, a Republican, who financially backed Republicans, who financially backed Donald Trump, Republicans in Congress. This is a Republican Party. The bill that they are battling over is Republican legislation. This is a Republican Party problem. Elon Musk tweets, the latest Senate draft bill will destroy millions of jobs in America and cause immense strategic harm to our country. Utterly insane and destructive. It gives handouts to industries of the past while severely damaging industries of the future. He ain't lying. This bill that is Project 2025 wrapped up with some other things, yeah, it boosts the old industries like fossil fuel, coal, drill baby drill, and it limits companies like Elon Musk companies when it comes to electric vehicles. So we're clear that the reason why Elon Musk is coming out so hard against this bill because it will affect his businesses. We're clear about that, but he ain't wrong. Elon Musk tweets anyone who campaigned on the promise of reducing spending but continues to vote on the biggest debt ceiling increase in history will see their face on this poster in the primary next year.
With this AI tool, you can turn your story into a beautifully illustrated children's book, perfectly divided page by page with character consistency, vibrant visuals, and in any language.
Hold
All
on, everybody.
automated
I'm on
in
the wrong
just
tab and I
minutes.
can't get
You
out of
can
this.
also create and sell personalized portraits in any style you can imagine.
Elon Musk is on the right side for a change, but it's only because it hurts him. And he's going to primary everybody who votes for it. Woohoo! It's about time he starts working for the people. But we all know that he did all of this just to stay out of jail. That's the only reason he did all this. Yeah, and the party and the party pig. I'm not gonna tell you how long I stared at that before it made sense. Because I'm sitting there going, "What?" Yeah, is horrible. And on the and I know. You're right, Roberta. You are correct. Nothing covers it up. So it's just going to be stink on top of stink, surrounded by stink. Michelle says, raid the coffers and blame the other guy. See, and Jasmine put a motion in the House last week. She wanted to subpoena the muskrat to bring him in to answer questions. And of course, MTG tried to push it under the table and she kept asking, kept putting it out there, kept asking, kept putting it out there. So she finally brought it to a vote. And of course, the Republicans voted it down. They will not subpoena him and bring him in to answer questions. She tried. She tried hard. Yeah, they voted her out. Keep in mind that the yelling yams still blame. Oh yeah, oh yeah, and but he's starting to use their negotiations because they're on file there. So he's been pulling them out, trying to use them. Hello, sis Andrea. Thank you so much. No live today. Posted something on post. Love you, sweetheart. And I hope everything's okay with you and yours. So if we get wordy today, I won't have to worry about taking over your time. But Lord have mercy. And sis, do you have anything you want to talk about? You can throw it out here on the table and we'll bring it in. Hi, Dinky Jen. Thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate it. Oh, and he keeps saying he negotiated a deal with the UK. I haven't found that deal yet. I don't know what he thinks he's negotiated. I don't know. He is so. Oh, yes, he is. Yes, he is. He is so green. He is so green. And you're dancing about that. He is so because he's such a little man, and we talked about it before. He is still trying to seek approval from daddy, and daddy ain't here. He has an inferiority complex. The muskrat is immune because he may not be a I Googled that at one point in time, and I believe I read that they said he had applied for citizenship. He has a citizenship in where he was born in Canada and here. Now, you know, with the Google search, I don't remember where I was when I saw it, but I did check that out. Now, whether or not that's correct, I don't know. But they said he was a citizen. He's only negotiating with the demons in his mind. There is that. There is that. Or the demons on X. Hi, Kate, welcome in. They are afraid of his answers. I don't think he will change. Anyway, by the way, prayers going up for Kim and her family. Fire is a hard thing to get past. I know. I know. I saw the pictures of her house. And the Kim Kate is referring to is she used to be unapologetically Mocha. She is now Mocha Crochet and Crafts, our friend in West Virginia. I think her house was struck by lightning and it burned the roof, and I believe it burned one wall in the house. Firefighters were able to get her pets out, and all of her family made it out. So there was no loss of life, but there is significant damage to the house. Kate, do you know, is she going to be able to rebuild? Roberta says in his first term, he tried to award himself a Medal of Honor. Lord Jesus. Pebbly Pooh, welcome in. It is so good to see you. That may change based on the word of the Yambella. Well, we've all heard about or maybe we haven't all heard about. They are the Alcatraz in California that we talked about before. Now they're going to do it in Florida, in the Everglades, on the airstrip in Dulles or outside of Dulles, Miami-Dade County. And they're coming up with all of these makeshift cubicles. And my question was, how are they going to evacuate these people during a hurricane? But I just read a blurb this morning, and everybody's talking about the Alcatraz thing. DeSantis went through giving a tour, expounding on all of its merits, and saying that they will save money not having to have so much security there, because if they get a certain radius out, there's alligators and pythons. And the blurb I read this morning says there's no AC. So it's 100 and how many degrees in Florida in the summer? You're putting these structures on tarmac with no AC. Oh, but he was saying that they would have rooms for their lawyers to come in and they can get their due process. It will cost $245 per day per bed, but this is cheaper. Yeah, no, it's cruel and inhumane punishment. He does have multiple citizenships, but Canada is trying to revoke that one. Oh, that's right, Roberta. I had heard that. And hi to you too, sweetheart. Yeah, she is. It's on. She posted a picture to Facebook. Yep, they call it Alligator Alcatraz, and they are so happy about it. And you know what? They got I was running through the room. They have big cats out there, but they're not leopards. What are the other big cats? There's a big cat that they had. It's a big yellow spotted cat. I don't know what it is, because I didn't hear the beginning of it. I just saw the picture. They won't. The guards will evacuate and leave the others to fend for themselves. That's what I was thinking. I was hoping that was not the case, but that's what I was thinking. I really was. Right. She has a GoFundMe and it has raised some. Yes, they plan to rebuild. I think her GoFundMe is under unapologetically mocha. Thank you, Kate. Yeah, that's horrible. Built by FEMA funds, not for our natural Pebbles, thank you, because I had forgotten that part. They're using FEMA funds to build this Alcatraz. So if they have a hurricane, where are they going to get the funds to that they need for the emergency preparedness? And but wait, I have a clip for that. I have a clip for that because I was kind of like, I'm sorry, what? Oh, I hope this is it. If not, I missed it. No, I don't want this. Go away.
A major escalation here in the exploding feud between Trump and Musk amid the budget bill drama. So, after Elon Musk tweeted on Monday night that he would fund primary opponents to anybody who would vote for Trump's budget bill, and then threatened to start a new political party that would ostensibly draw voters from the GOP, Trump responded, taking to Choose Social and writing, Elon Musk knew long before he so strongly endorsed me for president that I was strongly against the EV mandate. It is ridiculous and was always a major part of my campaign. Electric cars are fine, but not everybody should be forced to own one. Elon may get more subsidy than any human being in history by far, and without subsidies, Elon would probably have to close up shop and head back home to South Africa. No more rocket launches, satellites, or electric car production, and our country would save a fortune. Perhaps we should have Doge take a good, hard look at this. Big money to be saved. And now Elon Musk knows exactly what so many other Americans have felt when they've been on the receiving end of threats by the very person Elon helped gain power. And for
I'm sorry, I forgot I had this clip to go along with Tabitha's clip. that went along with the Musk thing, but so yeah, he might get deported as well. Mm. Oh, my sweet baby Jesus. Yeah, because they look like, to me, they look like they were made out of tin or hard plastic. They, but the way they were panning, I couldn't get a good look at them, and they didn't get up close and personal on the feed I was looking at, so I couldn't tell. I keep thinking they may regret that. Those inmates are used to those critters. Cougars. Thank you, Pebbles. Cougars. I knew it was a big cat. And it had spots and it was yellow. I had three of them. I just couldn't get the name. Cause it's like, yeah, no. They are just gosh. Swamp funds and blame the mismanagement on the Dems. So that's gonna cost another, what is it, $2 to $3 million on top of the money they spent on Gitmo, on top of the military jets that they had flying the aliens to Gitmo and then bringing them back and then sending them to El Salvador. They have spent more money in this cruel and inhumane process if they had just left the government alone. Because this is beyond madness. No one was being forced to buy electric cars. True. It's the MCC. They look like the FEMA trailers from New Orleans. Is that what they are? I couldn't tell. It's billions. Oh, because every clip I listen to, it's different. I was combing through the clips and everybody had a different aspect on it. So it's kind of like, oh, the Everglades are home to panthers. They might have panthers and cougars. And we remember how they worked out. See? Oh, they got asbestos in it. Oh, shoot. Shoot. Oh, it's one thing to try to get these people out of your country. It's another thing to try to injure, maim, unalive them. Wait a minute. I lost one. Where is it? Give me just a second. Because I lost the clip. No, Tabby, we saw you earlier. You can stop. They oh. Let me see if I can bring this in. I don't know if I can share this one or not. Hold on. Yes, I can. Hold on. Girlfriend was on a rant this morning. I love her. But hold on. So she says, and it's only a minute and a half, so I'm going to play the whole thing.
Last night, the Senate got enough yes votes on a motion to proceed to push the big but ugly budget bill to the Senate floor. That doesn't mean that it's passed. We have some steps in between. So right now they have to read the bill in its entirety, all 940 pages. After that, there's up to 20 hours of debate, 10 hours for Democrats, 10 hours for Republicans. And then after that, there's something known as vote-a-rama, where the Democrats will propose a bunch of amendments to push the vote back. And then they will vote on the actual bill, likely around Monday. And then even if it does pass, it has to go back to the House because the Senate has changed the bill that came from the House. So anyway, there's still time to apply pressure. But I want to talk about Alaska Senator Lisa Murkowski. Alaska. Your senator was going to vote no on this bill, along with a couple of other Republicans who did vote no on the motion to proceed. She was going to vote no on the motion to proceed and the bill until she got it negotiated that her state would be accepted from a bunch of the provisions of the bill. I have to ask y'all, if this bill is not as dangerous and terrible and horrible for working class Americans as we say it is, why did a Republican senator fight tooth and nail to get her state accepted from those provisions? Why did that happen? Right? And more importantly, why isn't every Republican senator fighting to make sure this doesn't go through? They know this is horrible. They're just spineless. They're scared of the president, who doesn't care about any of y'all and only cares about giving tax cuts to billionaires. This is all to give tax cuts to billionaires. So the phone lines, they're probably going to be clogged up. It's the weekend. Go to the social media pages of these senators and tell them to vote no.
What if you had your own personal chef with 0 dishes to clean? Factor sends you chef-prepared, dietitian-approved meals ready to heat.
Legal thread Ray could pull.
No,
I had him
not you
formally
either.
removed.
So we still have time to put on pressure. I was listening to the vote this morning and it was getting on my nerves, and they had different sections. When they changed things, they had to vote on it. One of them was tied. Vance had to break the tie, and of course he voted yes. So the Dems lost, but they at least got it tied. So then they were talking about Tillis. So Tillis got on the floor, and I was not really aware of him because I don't like Republicans.
I would love to know. Had MAGA so down bad that they were calling for Mark Robinson.
Oh, God.
Yes, that Mark Robinson.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, mini soldier.
Oh, my God. Oh,
Yet inevitably, as has been the case with a great number of Trump projects and eventually MAGA, that did not work. In fact, it made things far worse because not only did Tom Tillis say that I'm not running for re-election, so damn your threats, but because you made it, now I have been unleashed and I'm going to air all y'all out.
What do I tell 663,000 people in 2 years or 3 years when President Trump breaks his promise by pushing them off of Medicaid because the funding's not there anymore, guys? When the White House senators advising the president are not telling him that the effect of this bill is to break a promise. Republicans are about to make a mistake on health care and betraying a promise. It is inescapable that this bill in its current form will betray the very promise that Donald J. Trump made in the Oval Office or in the cabinet room when I was there with finance, where he said we can go after waste, fraud, and abuse on any programs. Now, those amateurs that are advising him, not Dr. Oz, I'm talking about White House healthcare experts, refused to tell him that those instructions that were to eliminate waste, fraud, and abuse all of a sudden eliminates a government program that's called the provider tax. We owe it to the American people, and I owe it to the people of North Carolina to withhold my affirmative vote until it's demonstrated to me that we've done our homework. We're going to make sure that we fulfill the promise, and then I can feel good about a bill that I'm willing to vote for. But until that time, I will be withholding my vote.
All right, Lisa Murkowski, come on down. Come on down.
We got somebody in our corner, but good Lord, now it's going back to the House. So we got letters to write. We have to write everybody and keep hounding them. Do not vote for this bill. We have to keep hounding them because they've drunk the Kool-Aid. They've drunk the Kool-Aid. I just saw a clip from a chief of police, not sure which town, said he may go to jail, but he'd be darned if he'd help ICE. Thank you. Somebody has some integrity. Oh, I remember the health consequences were deadly. Oh, yeah. And they said, well, a lot of people are going to get maimed, but they're not going to get away. I was like, that's ugly. I say that we protect that chief after a proper background. Yeah. A lot of people. No, not a lot of people. Several people. Okay. And then the environmentalists are saying that the Evergrades are not as robust as the Republicans seem to think that they are. And all the trucks going in and out and all the stuff that they're bringing in and out is damaging it. And the Native Americans in that area are saying that that is part of their heritage lands. I agree, Michelle. We have to do some research. Yes, we do. They passed it with the vote by Vance, but now it has to go back to the House. So we still have time. We got to put pressure on those in Congress. And unfortunately, Michelle and I only have one, and Wesley knows how we feel about it. I no longer blindly give passes to anyone anymore. Credit checks, voting history checks, etc. Yeah, it is unnecessarily brutal. It really is. It is unnecessarily brutal. I'd love to see a leak of the ancestry info that shows the family histories of the. I looked up DeSantos. Both of his great-grandparents came in between the 1900s and the 1910s. One came in 1904 and the other one came in 1900 something or other. But both of his parents were Italian immigrants, great-grandparents. They've only been here since the early 1900s. And we know that little Marco is Cuban. There is one I follow that has done that, follows all the way back to his grandfather, all illegally in this country, and his grandfather owned a brothel. Ooh. I started looking into Vance because I wanted to make sure that I was not related to him because I have Vances in my ancestry. But his ancestry is a little complicated. And it was so complicated that I put it on the back burner because I was like, more than likely, I'm not related to you because you got too much stuff going on back there. But one day I'm going to sit down and I'm going to go through it because I don't want to be related to him. That is one branch I would cut off the tree. I've accepted 5 of the 8 so far, but his branch, yes, I would cut them off. Chris, welcome in. Good to see you. So what can you do? We are going to write to Congress, tell them not to accept the changes on the bill and to fight for the bill, to vote against the bill. If we can get Congress not to pass the bill, it won't go back to the Senate. There is so much we can't do because they won't stand up to 47. They won't replace the cabinet. They see that the cabinet is not working and they are still standing behind their approval. They need to get rid of that cabinet. They need to get a backbone. Wesley better step up or be prepared to be talking from his front porch. Yeah. Yes, very true about the Seminole Nation and about the fragility of the Everglades. Now, see, they're thinking that it's, they're thinking it's like the movies. You can go in there with your jet skis and your power boats and everything and just run up and down the Everglades and everything's all fine and dandy. And the environmentalists are out there with signs protesting. And I had a clip on that and I lost it. Let me see if it's here because I had that. I want it back. If not, I have to go to my history. So you all talk amongst yourselves because it was a good clip. Good Lord, my granddaughter has a lot of stuff in. Why did she have stuff on my? Never mind. Focus. Nope, it'd be easier to go to my history. Hang on, everybody. I am so sorry. I lost my clip, and it was a good one. Why is it always the good ones that we lose? Why is that? Oh, and they're going to investigate Alina Haba. Is this it? This is it. Okay, hang on. I found it. No, not you. Why do I always get the ads first? Why? Somebody explain to me. Never mind, I know why. Hold on, Jack. I found it. Hold on. I'm coming. This is the one I was looking for. Let me move Kate. So as per usual, it's not like it seems in the movies, and they don't have sense enough to know that.
announcement Donald Trump made to begin his press conference about how he's going to be attacking our elections going forward. This is incredibly scary.
Be a new bill called Make American Elections Great Again. I love it. Forcing the U.S. Census Bureau to redo the census to actually get an account of how many Americans with proof of citizenship are in our area, in our country, redistricting some of the House districts. Your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll speak for both of us. We love it. Okay, you're going to like this one. I know all about it. We want to bring our elections back. The election in 2020 was rigged, millions and millions of votes. It had to do with COVID and a lot of things, but it really had to do with the crooked people. The Democrats are very good at cheating on elections. And that's why I said too big to rig. They tried this one too. But after about 9:02, they gave up too many votes. Too big to rig. Ron would love it. I would love it. Christie would love it. That's what they have to do. They have to bring it back. And we have to look, Ron, they include anybody that happens to be in your state.
Well, California would lose like 5 seats if they did a fair census. And even beyond that, the Biden census gypped Florida of at least 1 seat. We only got 1 seat in the last census. Are you trying to tell me that Florida only had 1 seat in that? We should have had at least 2. Texas should have had another one. That could be the difference in the House of Representatives and the majority. So I would love for them to redo the census for 26. My legislature will redistrict those lines. We'll get it to where it's fair. But as it's right now, this country is not fairly apportioned. I've got so many more millions of people in Florida that have representation because of that flawed census.
The Senate just passed Donald Trump's budget, and with it signed their political destiny that they will be decimated in these midterms. And Donald Trump knows that. He knows how unpopular he is. He knows how unpopular his budget is. And he knows that his party is screwed. And it is why they are going after elections now, that they want to tamper with votes. They want to disenfranchise millions of Americans because they know if we had an election that was completely fair, which Donald Trump certainly does not want, he's going to get shellacked. And so that is now what they are going after. It would be a little bit easier to just not kick millions of people off their health care. But Donald Trump doesn't see it that way, as clearly he said right here.
Just what are your concerns about the Medicaid, though, cuts, though, Mr.
No,
President?
we're not going to be playing with Medicaid. Only waste, fraud, and abuse.
Americans
the Democrats have it wrong. Yeah, waste, fraud, and abuse. In fact, if you look at what's gone on, we've gone way back. We take care of Medicaid. We take care of Medicare. They will blow Medicare and Medicaid because they have no idea what they're doing. Just like they don't have any idea what they did on the border, they have no idea. Medicaid is in big trouble with the Democrats.
Anyone who loses their health care coverage, that is because of waste, fraud, and abuse.
Waste, fraud, only waste, fraud, and abuse, which is what everybody wants.
There is no waste, fraud, and abuse in making sure mothers and children have health care. But clearly, Donald Trump does not see it that way, and neither do the Republicans who have acknowledged, like Josh Hawley, that this bill is an abomination and will do damage for generations to come. Yet still, they don't care. They put together a $50 billion slush fund for hospitals to prevent their closures because they understand that hospitals are going to close because of this bill, but they do not care. They will go as far as they need to intimidate on behalf of their billionaires. And speaking of intimidation, like I said, when Donald Trump was confronted over CNN reporting about his illegal ICE attacks, he started threatening to jail journalists.
And Madam Secretary, CNN yesterday pushed an app that lets you track where ICE agents are. Tom Homan was saying that perhaps CNN should be prosecuted for that. That's obstruction of law enforcement. Your response?
Yeah, we're working with the Department of Justice to see if we can prosecute them for that, because what they're doing is actively encouraging people to avoid law enforcement activities, operations, and we're going to actually go after them and prosecute them with the partnership of PAM if we can, because what they're doing, we believe, is illegal.
And they may be prosecuted also for having given false reports on the attack in Iran. They were given totally false reports. It was totally obliterated, and our people have to be celebrated, not come home and say, what do you mean we didn't hit the target? We hit the target prison. The pilots came home and they said, we hit the target prison. So they may be very well prosecuted for that. What they did there, we think, is totally illegal. Okay, let's go.
They should be prosecuted for talking about an app This is what Donald Trump is saying, that helps people identify ICE agents, law enforcement officials, who should have to identify themselves but refuse to. Donald Trump thinks sharing that pertinent and important information with the public that could keep people safe should have journalists at CNN jailed. Can someone make it make sense? It doesn't. But this is what he's going to do. The ICE agents, they're here to intimidate Donald Trump. He's here to intimidate both me and you and everyone in the media who wants to cover this. And it's not a surprise that Donald Trump is freaking out, especially as everything seems to be falling apart around him. And part of that, of course, is how unpopular, like I said, his budget is, which Elizabeth Warren was calling out on CNN and kind of mocking his civil war with Elon Musk right here.
That they're willing to vote to cut Medicaid. The president needs to hear that and call this bill back in to say this bill should not pass.
Can I ask you about what the other side is saying, which is that if Democrats don't vote for this, that you're going to pay the political consequences because you're voting it wouldn't be extending the tax cuts that the president enacted last time he was in office, and therefore there would be a tax increase for Americans. The Nonpartisan Tax Policy Center said that if it would mean 64% of households would get some sort of tax increase should this bill not pass to do so. What is your response to that?
Look, nobody in America except the billionaires want to see the tax cuts for the billionaires and the billionaire corporations. And that's all the Democrats are saying. Democrats are saying, fine, you want to cut taxes for middle-class families? Man, we are all in. You want to find ways to cut taxes for small businesses? Count us in. But you want to do trillions of dollars of giveaways that go to billionaires and billionaire corporations. Why? So Jeff Bezos can throw a second $50 million wedding? No, we don't want any part of that. And here's the deal. Democrats don't want any part of that, and neither do the American people. Democrats, independents, and Republicans are opposed to these tax giveaways for billionaires and billionaire corporations.
And that's where we are, my friends. Cruel and undue punishment, cruelty, inhumane. It's just, we have to keep writing. I actually sent a letter to Tillis to say thank you, but wish you'd shown up in 2021. Better late than never. Better late than never. I saw that too. Wasn't that Vance? That cast the tie-breaking vote. That was Vance. That's is it his maternal grandmother's name? Yeah, I said it got sketchy because he picked up that name from somewhere, but it's somewhere in his lineage. So nobody claims which. I don't want to claim her. I don't want. Look, I already got the bankheads. I mean, you know, I'm a cousin to Tallulah Bankhead. There is only so much insanity I can have in one family. Not happy if they don't pass by the 4th. Anything to ruin. Oh, that's right. Because he's bringing in the pilots of the B-52s or whatever that flew over Iran, and he wants to have another ceremony. And Michelle wants to know, how is everybody? You hope he has a tantrum and wet his pants. Look, he doesn't have to have a tantrum in order to do that. Oh, yeah, someone did show his pants and said that it looked like that there was a Foley bag attached to his leg. And then somebody else showed how the legs, his pants legs below his knee were hugging his legs irregularly. And they said it looked like he was wearing braces. He can all... I took a walk into the woods behind my house, found some wild lettuce, and bring as we speak. Okay. Wash it really well. Chris says, are they deporting what's her name, the son's daughters and other female parents? Not so far. Not so far. And we know that the second lady's parents are immigrants. He had a reason for excluding them. Off the top of my head, I don't remember what it was, but there was a reason why she was not going to be deported. Camille, welcome in. No, I second that. I second that. No, because they were deporting children. Every single thing he accuses Democrats of, I assume he is guilty of himself. That's what they're saying. They're saying he's projecting. And Camille, I'm inclined to agree with you. It's been mentioned by Jasmine Crockett, Melania, and the whole family. And Jasmine was questioning Melania's Einstein visa because she says clearly she's not an Einstein. Crystal, welcome in. You just got to the truck. Welcome in, girlfriend. I thought I had all my ducks in a row, but I have lost my ducks. I'm throwing out breadcrumbs trying to find them, but there is so much going on. It's kind of like we just have to keep writing. If you know what, going in through the back door, we might get what we want. If 47 puts Doge on Musk, we might lose some of those government contracts. If the Muskrat primaries everybody who is voting for this nonsense, we might get out the people we don't want. And, do I still have that? Ooh. See, I might have to do. I got it. Oh, praise the Lord, everybody. I got it. Hold on. Because I just wanted to beat my head against the wall when I saw this. And of course, I have to get past the commercial, even though I have this stopped in the middle. Hold on. This is supposed to go to a vote. Nobody was allowed to vote on this. And everybody in Florida needs to do something about this. I'm not in Florida. I don't know what I can do. I'll try to find an address in Florida that we can that I can use, because you have to give your address and phone number and everything when you write to these yahoos.
So the last time I was on vacation, about a week and a half ago, which, yes, I'm on vacation now. That's why things are weird. But anyway, I went on vacation and I did a Q&A. And one of the questions I got from a lot of different people was, will elections be canceled by Republicans in the future so they can just stay in power? And at the time, I was like, no, I don't think it's going to happen. Probably, but I wasn't as sure of it as I was, say, a month ago. A month ago, I was dismissing the fears of everybody saying they're going to cancel elections. I thought, that's a little extreme. You guys are kind of going a little overboard. Let's not talk about them canceling elections because it's not going to happen. I was wrong. I could not have been more wrong. And this is one of the times when, man, I really wanted to be right, that of course Republicans aren't going to cancel elections. That's ridiculous. And they did. Republicans in the state of Florida, in the city of Miami, have canceled this year's elections. The city of Miami is supposed to be holding elections for numerous, city leaders, including mayor of Miami. But because the county commissioners is a majority Republicans, And because these government officials that are term limited and cannot run again are all Republicans, all of these Republicans got together and said, you know what? Let's just not do it. So the county commissioners of the city of Miami and the state of Florida voted to cancel this year's elections. The voters did not have a say, and the voters are pissed off. But because the Republicans are term limited and they knew, hey, we're out of here in November, they said, let's push it a year down the road. So they canceled the election scheduled for 2025 because they do hold off-year elections. And they said, let's do even-year elections so that it lines up, they said, with, the regular federal elections. Because then if we do it, they claim, we're going to get higher turnout. Well, this is great. We're so smart. Let's pat ourselves on the back, right? We're going to have more people. And of course, that does mean that these Republicans get one more year in office and, they can keep doing the horrible things that Republicans do. But in the end, they tell us this is totally going to be for the best, right? It doesn't matter if it increases turnout. If you want to change the way that your city runs elections, that is a decision that is up to the voters. And you took that decision away from them. And that's part one of the story. So yes, there are now Republicans with power in this country that have canceled elections. So those fears, the fears that I dismissed, those fears are valid and accurate. It is no longer scaremongering. It is no longer a conspiracy theory. It is a real thing happening now. Second part. These Republicans who run that city, who made this decision, they understand something. And they understand that this is going to be challenged in court. That's the scary part. You've got a conservative judiciary down there in South Florida, all throughout the state of Florida. And then once it gets out of the state of Florida, where is it going to end up? The United States Supreme Court. So this move by these Republicans was not just to give themselves another year in office, folks. This was to get this up to the Supreme Court and get them to say that, yes, we do have the authority to cancel elections. Here you go. That's what this is about. It's not just about the local game. It's about getting it to that Supreme Court and getting them on your side and then doing it across the country. Thanks for watching today.
We're in trouble. We are in so much trouble. If you know people in Florida, they've got to start fighting. They've got to write letters. I know they're already protesting about Alligator Alley, but they've got so much more to protest, especially since they just elected 2 more Republicans. They should have known better. I know that's Trump, 47's new home state. Y'all just screwed the whole country. Roberta says, that insisted was done in the past year of his last term, heartened to cancel the census because it's supposed to be every 10 years. So we didn't do a 2020 census, did we? Oh, frack. Roberta, how did you remember that? We did. Oh, my Lord. Yeah, but if we do one this year, then we're off cycle. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Just cleaning up from making medicine today, wild lettuce, and a bunch of other stuff. Oh, so you're not going to put it in the salad? How about the real waste, fraud, and abuse where we provided subsidies? That's what we're fighting, but it looks like we're having a losing battle. Every now and then, I think I can say it, Josh Hawley actually says something that makes sense. But 8 times out of 10, he says something that just pisses me off. He's walking a line, and I haven't seen Schmidt say anything. Well, that's because he makes me sick. But and I'm really surprised that when people are commenting on things, they actually bring up Josh's name. He's a real piece of work. I know, Camille. And that's one thing we've been writing, that we've been alternating letters because we put one subject on each letter to each person. You write one letter, you copy and paste, and I'm going to put the links on how to contact everybody in the description. But I was running behind today because things just kept happening. We write that this is not what my tax dollar is for, and we write that this is not what I voted for. Last week, I even had a whole letter in the description from AARP to send to the senators and the representatives. All you have to do is copy and paste, and the links are in that one. If you're not a member of AARP, you can just take that off of there if you want, but the letter is already written out for you. I do that when AARP sends me a new letter to mail out to the people. But yeah, we have to keep telling them that. And as a Dem, this is not what I voted for. And I did not vote for the cruelty. I can't type what I'm thinking, but we can waste the frauds. You see, because jail and journalists, deporting citizens, persecuting the LGBTQ community. Are we great again yet? I've said it before, and I'll say it again. It is not to make America great again. It is to make America white again. They're trying to go back to the don't ask, don't tell, and that women and blacks stay in their place, which is on the forms, ain't happening. And they're trying to cut back on education so that women and blacks aren't educated. That ain't gonna happen either. So yeah, they're not looking out for the greatness. They're looking out for the whiteness. I was just saying the wild lettuce thing, Kate. I'm putting up for the days I can't get my pain meds. Anybody got any white willow bark? Eat the rich. Oh, Darcia, welcome in. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. It is. French Revolution. French Revolution. Not to go all spiritual, but why on earth have as much money as the 1% so their kids can squander it and shame them when they could feed the hungry? I've always said that. And their gowns could be sold and the money given to charity. And they're always trying to start a charitable foundation and want donors. They don't have to ask for donors. They can be the donors. What is the point in having billions of dollars when we have people living under bridges, hungry and dirty? There is so much they could do to make America great again. That's his grinder name. Darcy is saying hi to everybody. Does Grinder have couches on it? Oh my gosh. I have never been ashamed of being an American until the last 6 months. I cannot believe that he is being allowed to do all the damage that he is doing. Yes, I knew there was bigotry in this country, but the bigots have been allowed to come out of the closet. And that's just not right. It's not right. But if you can populate the neighbors, right, they can likely stay up until they dry up. No, they're doing the in vitro. They're doing the donations, and they're doing the in vitro, so they don't have to stay up because they're being spun out. The only one who doesn't meet definition, yeah, she is. She's the only one. Now they're talking about the 14th and 25th Amendment. Yep. Yep. And they are trying to get by that because in the new bill, they're saying that you cannot have 2 consecutive terms. That's to keep Obama from running again. Since the Orange Man was 45 and 47, they want to propose that he can run for a 3rd term. But if you have 2 consecutive terms, you cannot run again. That also would count out Bush, because he had 2 consecutive terms, didn't he? Stop calling the Yam 47, call him 45, and we will piss her off because we ignore his most recent robbery. Okay, I can do that. Like I said, when he did something crazy as 45, we would look at each other and say, somebody forgot to give him his medication. Yes, Chris, and she just now been bringing her into the fold. And she has stepped back out of the fold since she has a new baby. I won't even say her name or his number. I have so many nicknames for him, and I don't want to put them out there on the air. Oh, she may still have a home in Florida. We can use that address. Probably that's what they want, to cancel it. Yeah, that's what it's looking like. If they get that up to the Supreme Court, and especially if Uncle Thomas has his way, they will vote that in, and the whole country will be on the brink. And you see, DeSantis is so jealous of California. And Jasmine even said that they got 2 more seats in Texas, but they got 2 more Republicans. They did not get 1 Democrat. So we're fighting an uphill battle with no weapons. If I could have my way, we would vote out every Republican that is in office now and start with a clean slate of Republicans. Then we would start getting rid of the bad Democrats. But this current administration is as crooked as it gets. I have never, ever, ever seen anything like this. And the cabinet, it's a joke. Our cabinet is made up of reality TV people. If you were on Fox TV, you were in the cabinet. Unless you're a WWE executive's wife. If you are a criminal or a promiscuous person, you're in the cabinet. Or you've been pardoned. He says it's cursing. Michelle, I only call him the resident because he brings the, oh, yes, yes, yes. I like that, Roberta. I like that. I like that. That is in the big, beautiful bill. No more. I heard that. And I did not see how they were going to be able to carry that off. And like was said, they're starting in Florida because Florida is as red as it gets. They're using California as the test case for martial law. And then they're going to start hitting the blue cities in the red states. Michelle and I live in a blue city. There's only 3 in the state of Missouri, and we're in one. But the other blue city on the other side of the states, they had a Yahtzee parade. It was okayed. Yeah. They are so horrible. They know they can't win, so they cheat. They cheat. And I'm sorry, with the muskrat being in Pennsylvania, with his tech knowledge, I am pretty doggone sure that he somehow hacked into those computers and switched the election. I'm sure he hacked in. I could be wrong, but I think the Trump and Musk fight is all for show. It's just a drama feed. Kate, I thought that in the beginning. I'm still holding my breath, but Musk is mad because he lost his EV. He was getting an EV credit. He's lost that. So he's lost money. So now he's mad. Camille says why can't I say that today? Authoritarianism. Yes. Political ideology. You're going to make me say that twice. Is a political system characterized by the rejection of political plurality, the use of strong central power to preserve the political status quo. I love me some Bernie Sanders. He's been fighting against that. I just started loving Bernie because Bernie is fighting a good fight. I am sorry that he was not elected the last 2 times he ran, because he would have been good. He would have been fair. And reductions in democracy, separation of powers, civil liberties, and the rule of law. We are about to lose all of that because they have shown they don't care about the law. And that is why he got that immunity, because he knew he was going to be breaking the law. And all he had to say was, well, I'm doing this for the good of the country. He knew he was going to be breaking the law. And I don't see why the Supreme Court doesn't reverse that decision. They need to reverse that decision. Actually, he just needs to be out of the office. And I can't believe, well, I could believe it because I knew it was going to happen I can't believe that Al Green actually put out the motion to impeach 45 and a half, because the Dems didn't have the numbers and we knew the Republicans weren't going to vote for it. That was a lost motion when he started. So he just spun his wheels and showed his hand and got nothing for it. He should have waited until the midterms. And then the other thing is, if you impeach 45, we get Shady. Shady is no better. And if something happens to Shady, we get MAGA Mike. And he's too dumb to run anything. So we've got nothing to work with. Impeaching him does not get us anywhere unless we can get rid of the other 2. I'm just saying. Off subject, been seeing everyone talking about herbs. Here is some interesting reads. NCCIH. Oh, I love me some NIH. Yeah, I need to get into that before they take that offline. Herbs at a glance. I actually have an herb book back there in the in my bookcase. I need to pull out again because my oldest had actually he had Asperger's and we didn't know it, but we did the Dr. Smith diet: no white sugar, no white flours, no additives, no preservatives, and no sugar. And I tried to go green and natural. We were in trouble in November. Girl, we still in trouble. We still in trouble. Now the hurricanes had. Oh, really? November 2016. Oh my God. And then the other thing, Texas is mad because they've lost all of their farm hands. Their crops are rotting in the fields. They're setting their fields on fire because their crops have rotten. Some of them are going into pick your own. So you go out and you pick your own vegetables. I don't know if they're giving a reduced price for that or not, but the elderly can't go out there and pick their own, but yeah. Nebraska was asking why the blacks weren't coming to work on their farms. Sharecropping's over, baby. We don't do that anymore. You didn't even realize, girl, stuff's just happening. And I got some stuff out in the backyard. I've taken pictures of it, and Mr. Google has told me what it is and what I can do with it. And I'm like, but I'm scared. I'm going to pull up my big girl panties and I'm going to start trying to use it. They are hoping that we can. Yeah, they're hoping that we could. I got an excuse. I got chemo brain. So I need you all to remind me of what has happened in the past because I don't remember any of that. I don't remember. We did do a 2020 concise, but it was census, but it was hit and miss. I don't remember if I got one. I might have. I just don't remember. So then the next one's not supposed to be until 2030 because we do it every 10 years. I figured you meant census, Roberta. Those people were counted in their home states. Part of the problem is these numbnuts think that when the census workers went to the homes, they were also counting illegals. 8 times out of 10, that was not the case because they would ask the people, are you illegal? And they were not being counted. When they did the census in 2000, they were counting people down on the waterfront here in St. Louis, where there were vacant factories. People weren't even living there because my late husband was drawing the maps for St. Louis. Or was it Missouri? I don't remember now. He was drawing the redistricting maps, and I happened to be here at the time, and he's like, baby, I need you to go downtown and look at this address for me. So he was giving me addresses, and I was driving around finding the places. They were vacant warehouses, but somehow or other, there were people living there, and they were on the census. Yeah, we got you, girl. I can't do anything on the phone, so yeah, I will read typo the best I can, and then we also have auto incorrect. I actually want the tax money back in my pocket so I can afford medical care when I leave this earth. Pipe dream, though. No, honey, you need the medical care before you leave this earth. This is when you need the medical care. And then that's the other thing. They keep saying they're taking all these services out of the federal. They're going to send them to the state. The states are going to take over these services. So does that mean we get to pay our income tax to the state and not to the feds? Because I'm not paying my taxes, so 45 and a half can go down to Mar-a-Lago every weekend to play golf. That's not what my tax dollar is for. My tax dollar is not for fighter jets to take brown people down to Gitmo and then bring them back and then take them over to El Salvador. My tax dollar is not to pay El Salvador to house these people in a concentration camp without due process. That's not what I pay taxes for. I did not get a vote on this. I did not get a say on this. And this is supposed to be the United States. I'm just saying, the orange man ran on never needing to vote. He did. He did. And while he was saying that, we're only here for a certain length of time. Not wishing, well, I'm not even going to say that because that would be a lie. His time on this earth is limited, and there is no guaranteeing that he will be here for another term. So the whole time he was saying that does not necessarily mean it will happen, because we already talked about his cognitive last week. At this point, our best bet is to hope he turns into another Nixon, because I can tell you he is more corrupt. Good. High five, Crystal. Ooh, Lord. Great depth. See, where we don't look them in the eyes. Pinky, we need someone to start a YT homeschool channel. Speaking of the Make America Great Again, they forgot that if it weren't for black and brown folks, those white boys wouldn't have what they have. Oh, yeah, they forgot about that. And we said that when the Nottoway burned down, and they said, we're going to rebuild it as great as it was before. And everybody sat there and said, how? Because you don't have slaves to rebuild it. So, no, it will not be as great as it was before. You have to see others as people, and they don't. They see them as MAGA or as things that need to go. This is the war of the have and have-nots. This is Darwinism at its finest. Because like I said, if you're sick or if you're poor, you're expendable. If you are middle class, they might keep you around a little bit, because this is for the rich. So it's survival of the fittest. And as it was at Tillis, we just watched and said that 50,000 Americans will lose their lives because of inadequate health care and rural hospitals closing. That is something we can do. Okay. There you go. Laura, welcome in. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. Yeah, we need to go to Zillow. We can go to Zillow. Find addresses in the states we're interested in that might be on the market, because when you go to the senator sites and the congressperson sites to write to them, you have to give an address in their district. So we can go to Zillow. We can pick vacant buildings and use them as our address. And we can write to these people and tell them how we feel. We need a vote. And this is not what our tax dollars are for. And waste, fraud, and abuse is a joke, because they are the wasteful ones. They are the fraudulent ones, and they are abusing everything they get their hands on. That is something us white people can do. If we see and experience a bigot, we call them out and shame them back in the closet. Thank you, Crystal. Just don't get hurt doing it, because some of these bigots are the J6ers. And I don't want anybody getting hurt confronting these people. I said when they were running that I gave Vance and his cronies 6 to 8 months until they invoked the 25th. They're talking about it. I just call him the orange guy. The only one who has more names is my dog. See? And I don't understand how many people are all right with this. I can't understand how many people are going against their own principles to not be on his bad side. Have you no conscience? Have you no integrity? What's wrong with these people? And they put their hands on the Bible and said they will uphold the Constitution. I haven't seen anybody upholding anything. This current administration is like bathwater in the 1800s, dirty and seldom worth the dip. And everybody's using it. DC, I had to do that all my life. I asked my daughter where she got her open-mindedness from, long story, and she said, from you, Mom. Pat yourself on the back, Roberta. Didn't even realize it. See, Mama? See? Our kids listen more than we realize, and it's a good thing, Roberta. See? My brother was teasing me that I was influencing my 12-year-old granddaughter to be a leftist, because she will come in the house and say, Granny, can I watch Reese? She comes in and turns on Reese Waters. And when she gets tired of looking at him, then she switches over to Josh Johnson. And she's 12. She loves her some Reese Waters. Crystal says, Roberta, I believe you love, and same. My oldest daughter verbally dog walked a co-worker for making a racist joke in front of kids. In front of kids. Lord Jesus, made you so proud. I know you were proud. Because open mouth, insert foot. There's a lot of things you don't do in front of. And that's why this never ends. This is systemic in some families. These kids grow up hearing this BS, and as they go into adulthood, they think it's normal because it's normal in their house, and they don't realize why everybody else doesn't feel that way. There was no hacking. They just let him walk in and do it. Camille, I was hoping he was doing it under the table. Girl, see, Lord. I come on YT and you all burst all my bubbles. I was so unhappy. I was so unhappy with Pennsylvania. Yes, there is also a Project 25 about no more elections. We have to write. We have to write. We have to go to Zillow. We have to start hitting the other senators and representatives from their states, because we have to flood the zone. We really do. We've got the protesters out there. We got the 50501s out there. I'm not going out because I did my part, but we have to hit all the states, because they're not going to do anything unless they know that people are just not happy with it. They're not going to take it, and they're not going to get to keep their seats. Oh, did you know that Iran put a hit out on? No, I didn't. Good for them. Bang. Bangladesh is putting in the Trump towers. We don't have the Gaza of the Gaza of the Riviera yet. But Bangladesh is putting in a Trump towers. I heard this morning. I haven't gotten a chance to look more into it yet because I was sitting there going, yeah. I don't have any footage on it yet. I don't remember where I saw it because my little granddaughter, God love her soul, was not on YT on her account. She was on my account. So everything that was supposed to be in my history has all of her stuff in between. And she goes to shorts and she, so no, I don't remember where I heard that. Yeah. Like Reese says, let them fight. Yeah, we need to fight. Well, we are fighting. We are fighting uphill with no weapons, but we are fighting. And we're going to continue to fight. Oh, and Camille, in the description, like I said, I haven't done today's description yet. There's a link to how to find your senators, how to find your congresspersons, and the phone number to 45's cell phone that he had online when he did his State of the State address. But if you want to text him, do it from a burner phone. I don't want anybody getting into any trouble communicating. When you write, you have to put your name, address, telephone number, and all of that, so they make sure that you are, yes, their constituent. So be candid about what you are interested in and what you want them to do, but keep it PC, because I don't want anybody having their doors kicked in and being disappeared for exercising their First Amendment rights, because they are trampling on everybody's rights. But we can tell them how we feel and that we pay their salaries because we're taxpayers. And as I politely told my senators, I did realize they were afraid of the muskrat, but that they need to be more afraid of us, because even if he primaries them, if we see that they are voting in our best interest, we're going to vote for them anyway. But if they are afraid of being primaried, we're going to vote them out. So we're the ones that need to be pleased. Crystal says, I have loved Bernie for a long time and feel like Hillary robbed him his run. Really? See, I don't go through the mental. Okay, up until this past election, for all the lurkers, I don't have a political bone in my body. When I saw that 45 was running again, that's when I jumped on the political bandwagon, because I was like, oh, no. We cannot do this again. Then after he won, I started this channel because it was like, we have to do something. So when they have the primaries and they're voting on who they're going to nominate, I wait until the nominations are up, because it never fails that the person I really, really want doesn't get nominated. It hurts my feelings. So I wait until we get the two candidates or whatever the candidates are, and then I decide who I'm going to vote for. And yes, I've never voted federal for a Republican. I don't vote a straight ticket. I pick the person. And so far there hasn't been one that I wanted. Mm-mm. Supreme Court is part of the. Oh, Camille. We are not for the Heritage Foundation, and we are not for any PACs. So if your person is running and they have they're being supported by the PACs, that's an automatic no. And Camille, we also use the Goods Unite Us app. We research what brands and stores backed which politicians. Being in a red state, everybody voted red. So the best that I can do is just pull up. I have to search by the actual politician and see who supported him. And those who supported the ones that I'm against, I don't support them. So there are a lot of stores that I cannot shop at, and there are a lot of brands that I cannot buy, but I do my best. I do my best because those people who spent the $50 million for the inauguration are on my do not use list. I only used Facebook on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday because that's when I do my lives. But other than that, I stay off of Amazon. I'm not on X. I don't spend much time on Facebook. And all of these other things that they're giving money to, that's not where I want my money to go. So if that's where you want your money to go, that's fine. You do you. But for me, I do my best to hit them in their purses. Darcy is saying to Roberta, yes, you are right. And that's why when are they coming over to DC? I didn't say that, but when are they coming over to DC? Because they can't do it in Florida because they got the Coast Guards and everybody else down there in the water. They do better in DC. Or when he was over there running his mouth, that would have been a good time. Crystal says, Michelle, right, there is no such thing as a fair fight, but in sports. And they're trying to pretend that that's not fair because we have the transgender playing on the wrong teams. There are times I understand that. They're really, I used to play volleyball, but I played volleyball against girls. With me being 5'2", there is no way that me playing volleyball against a male would have been a fair game. So there are times when I do understand that. I mean, if you're just playing out on the beach or whatever, all well and good. If it's a mixed game, that's fine. But if you're doing it professionally for honors or whatever, I can understand where that's a problem. Roberta says, yes, DC, my ex was, well, Trump-like, and I was always fearful they grow up with the attitude. Yeah, that's hard. That's hard. That's why mine wasn't like that, but he was not a nice person, and that's why I took my kids out of that situation as well. Yeah, Uncle Tom is still on the court. Yeah, so that's going to be a problem. That he and my second Uncle Thomas, who I kept forgetting. I used to, because I forgot his last name was Donalds. I don't know why I thought he was a Thomas too, except that he pissed me off because I used to call him Byron Thomas. So I had two Uncle Thomases. Yeah. But that was convenient for me. He spun his wheels, but he assured the Dems have a better chance and we can get more than the yelling yam. There are times when I am really upset with Hakeem because he wants to keep the decorum. But I'm like Jasmine and AOC and Greg Kassar and Ayanna Presley, Governor Pritzker, and Governor Walz. Get in their face and tell them how you really feel. You don't have to yell. Well, you can yell a little bit, but you don't have to scream. You don't have to curse. You don't have to be ignorant, but you can get in their face and tell them where they went wrong and how you could fix it. Slim Shady and MAGA Mike sound like a rap duo. I wasn't looking at the screen when I first heard JD Vance. I thought they were saying Shady Vance. And I was trying to figure out why somebody would name their son Shady. And it was like 2 or 3 weeks before I found out his name was JD, because I was walking around calling him Shady. I did. Texas paid for their vote. Seriously? Not only Texas, but oh, Lord. Ugh, this dumb state is. Oh, you see, yeah, they're paying for it. They're paying for it. They really are. The only one who's not paying for it yet is Florida, and I don't know what's. Oh well, I take that back. The Latinos for Trump are paying for it. I live, not Islam. I know what you meant. I got that. I couldn't get the other words because it wasn't medical. I couldn't get it in the right order. Camille, I am in Tennessee. I get it. Crystal, I sent you that clip last night to Messenger. Did you get it? Girl, I was sitting there going, who voted for that man? Should we fill out census considering they can use those later to profile people? Oh, that's a question. Oh. Well, the problem is if they really want to give services, they got to know where the people are and the races and whatnot, so everybody gets services. But since they don't want to give the services to the Black and brown people, you would be safe. The rest of us would be suspect. You know what? When they ask for race, just put other. Just put other. Because I got so much stuff in my DNA, I can prove to them that I'm an other. Yeah, just put other. And that'll keep them from actually targeting you. But then you're where you're supposed to be, and the population is counting the actual people so that they will get the services or they'll get the representation for the number of people, except if you have a prison close, because Jasmine Crockett said that in her district, they counted the prisoners. So her district got 2 more seats, but they were won by white people. They weren't won by Black. So her district is still not being represented accurately. That's what we're paying for, though. Yeah, that's what we're paying for. And we're paying. And I also want to start, I have to find out if, I don't think there's an other category there, but I also want to get rid of the Electoral College. I think that they should win by the popular vote. And that would better represent the people, because people are winning whole states and it's not reflecting the individual voters. And I also want those over 9 million people who didn't vote. That really upsets me. Some states are too poor in the South to cover the medical care. Then what? I'm going to say it. That's FAFO. Kamala went from state to state and told them this would happen. She told them that most of the services went to the red states because the blue states pay the majority of the services that the red states receive. But our misogynistic country did not want to be led by a black woman. And the Latinos were all about Trump. We tried to tell them that he lies. The Muslims up in Dearborn, we tried to tell them that he lies. And, oh, he lied. We tried to tell them. They didn't want to listen. Maybe they'll listen now. Just maybe. And the Latinos, they're not unhappy until their family members get deported. Then they're unhappy. I am against him deporting nursing mothers. If you're going to deport the mother, deport the baby. You don't separate a baby from their nursing mother. That's inhumane. Camille, the hardest part is Texas was a state to look up to years ago. It was. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to put, I get on. That's why we have this, Camille, so I can get on my soapbox. I don't have a political bone in my body, but I have this innate idea of fairness. And my mother used to tell me, the world is not fair. You're going to get your feelings hurt. I understand that the world is not fair, but there is a difference between being unfair and being inhumane, and we have tipped the scale over to inhumane. Nobody's following NATO. Nobody's following the Geneva Convention. If we could get the Geneva Convention over here, everybody would be in trouble. I wonder how we do that. Because he's pulled us out of every European organization that would help us, and he has aligned us with all of the communists and the fascists. If I wanted to live in Russia, I would move to Russia. I don't want to be in a communist / fascist / I don't know what other adjective to use for these people's country. This is not the country that I was born and raised in. Yeah, I with my genealogy, I've read about Jim Crow and slavery and da 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 da. I know all about that history. I know about the civil rights movement. And what does he do? He comes in and he cuts the civil rights bill. He cuts DEI. Everything that goes wrong, he blames it on DEI. He won't let the military attend the commencement for the Black Electronic College, and I can't remember the name of it because that's where they used to get the majority of their engineers. Oh no, you can't go there and recruit. Putting back the Confederate names of the forts, putting back the Confederate monuments, erasing all of the Black history. We've come too far to go back now, but that's what they wanted. It was Democrat till about 2000. Was it? Texas. Nancy Richards was the last Democratic governor, 1992. I think I saw that this morning. Was it Richards, Camille? Trump will never be a Nixon. Nixon had a conscience. That is bad, Roberta. That is bad. He did have a conscience, but dag, that is bad. There are so many people living in poverty and they are unaware or oblivious, not sure which. They who? The politicians? They don't care. Those are the people that would step over a person laying in the gutter and go get in their limousine. They just don't care. They have no morals. They have no conscience. They have no humanity. They have anything good. They don't have it. They do not have it. And it's sad. We got all those people, hundreds of people who look down on the little person. Capitalism at its worst. Has lived in poverty all my life. I am aware. My kids came home with those little boxes from school and said, Mom, they gave us these boxes at school. We have to collect coins for the poor. I said, baby, we are the poor. We are the poor. They don't believe in the Bible. Stop acting like their religion impacts their conscience. Somebody asked Trump what was his favorite scripture, and he says, that's personal to me. I can't quote it for you. I said, oh, means he doesn't know it. People that are not all right with this are too scared to speak up because of the J6ers. Yeah. And like Shapiro in Pennsylvania, people have had pizzas delivered to their homes. And those poor lawmakers in Minnesota who were ambushed in their own homes. Alina Hobbs, she is being investigated because everyone that she's prosecuting in New Jersey is a Democrat. Darcia, I fully accept I will be shot or arrested at some point if this continues. Girl, stay in the house. They'll have to come get me. That's why I'm sitting here typing. They will have to come find me. Reese had the thing the other day that they are going to start deporting citizens. I said, well, if they deport me, I'll be right here because this is where I was born. So deport me to my homeland. You've protested. Loopy, welcome in. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. How you doing? What you been up to? Who have you been writing to and what have you been saying? Crystal says, Roberta, I will be honest, living in Tennessee with a big mouth that speaks its opinion, I am well aware that what could happen one day. Girl. Yep, DC, I used to shake my head and walk away. I no longer do that. It's serious out here. It is really serious, and we've got to make our wishes known, and we've got to bring people into the fold. And the problem is a lot of people think that they're helpless, they are hopeless, and they don't think there's anything that they can do. There are things we can do, and we're doing it. So everybody give yourself a pat on the back because we're doing this. And yes, Darcia, we can put up a great fight because they won't stand up unless they know that we are not fooling. And Chris Murphy was supposed to be in Texas last weekend in a red district because the Republicans are no longer doing town halls, and Chris Murphy was going to do a town hall in a red district, but they had to stay in DC for this reading of the bill. Darcia says they're supposed to take that down of the rep's address. Don't forget the 2 killings that the crazy guy did. See, Darcia, we're on the same page because I just talked about them. Yeah, yeah, they're going after Pam, and they're going after They asked 45 if he was going to call Governor Walz like all of the other presidents have done. And he said, I could, but I won't waste my time. Inhumane, rude. I don't even have enough words to describe him. I won't waste my time. Granny, welcome in. You love Bernie, AOC, Jasmine, Jamie R, Tom Tillis. We just played Tom. Who else? Greg Kassar, Ayanna Presley, Robert Garcia. Those are the only ones I watched so far. Because Hakeem, I have a love-hate relationship with because he pisses me off sometimes. And Cory Booker pisses me off sometimes. Those two, I would like to sit down and have a long talk with and then put them in the corner until they could see reason. For the most part, they're okay, but there are times when I just look at them and I still have to find Tim Walz and Mr. Pritkin's Facebook pages to let them know that I would like to see them on the ticket for 28. I think that would be a fantastic combination. I really do. I love me some Jasmine. I love me some AOC, but I don't, especially with the way the world is now, I don't think they'll get the votes. It'll be like Kamala and Hillary. They won't get the votes, even though they deserve it. But I think Walz and Priskin could get the votes. I would love to see them on the ticket. I hope I live that long. Bernie had the vote for Democrat, but DNC put Hillary in anyway, and the Oompa Loompa because he lied. He is a big mouth. He kept saying that she needed to go to jail. He kept lying and going on and on and on. And just like this go around, everybody believed what he was saying instead of looking at what was actually going on. And that's why she lost, because he's a big fat liar. Big fat liar. Granny says, I've never been into politics either, VJ, just like you said. Yeah, when he won, I was like, no. Shelley, Sophie's choice, except you want to say, don't really want either. Sophie's choice? Shelley. Don't really want that either. Michelle saying, hey to the lurkers, please subscribe. Please and thank you. And if there's anything that you want to talk about, please put them in the comments when this goes live, because we always want to talk about what people are interested in and what people want to do something about. Oh dear, I'm not for the Heritage Foundation, just saying. I understood. I understood. Oh yeah, we're not for that either. But I did not realize the Supreme Court was tied to them. I mean, the orange guy wants to bomb. Oh no. Because he just said this morning that they were obliterated and that CNN is giving false commentary because it's been obliterated. So there's no reason for them to go back. Because if they go back, Iran is going to hit the military base over there again. But he just said it's been obliterated. So there's no need to go back. No. Camille, the Heritage Foundation used to be conservative, but constitutionalists didn't try to read it that way. See, and the what's the religious group? We need them out of there too. Yeah, AOC and Bernie Sanders have really been fantastic on this Stop the Oligarchy tour. The way they want Camille, the Heritage Foundation used to be the conservative, but constitutionalists didn't try to read it the way they want. Okay. I'm sorry, the whole they cannot play is bull in my book. Look at women with PCOS. We can grow out muscles better than other women. I also know tall women as well. Yeah. Yeah. And who was at his New Year's Eve party? Caitlyn Jenner. But he's so against trans. But Caitlyn Jenner was at his party. Elon Musk's daughter, is trans. But they're the two biggest transphobic people. Except Nancy Mace, who wants to be the bathroom police. Oh, yes. Love Tim Walz. How different our country would be if our girl and Tim would have been in the White House. We tried. We tried. We should separate sports differently, not just by gender. Look at wrestling. They go by weight class. We can make it fun and fair. Loopy, that is a fantastic idea. That is a fantastic idea. Should be height and weight class. Because I was short and chunky. I was short and chunky. So I still couldn't have gone against a 5'8" woman, girl. Exactly, Loopy. Men and women have been competing co-gender for years. Right. Now, unless it's a co-ed team, if they're pro or in the Olympics, they should be separated. But it's not a big deal. I don't think they should do one until 2030. I don't think they should interfere with the regular way it's done. I will still never believe that old orange one won the election. Nope, Elon and whomever probably. Lots of MAGAs diddled with stuff and cheated their way in. I think so too. We talked about Pennsylvania. I think so. I agree. Referring to going to vote all of my life. Pick the lesser of two evils. Felt like Sophie's choice. Oh. Gotcha. Yeah, they could have even gone out and done that instead of not staying home. No other than cause to deport. Oh. Well, there is that. We can all say we're white. Are they going to come look? Yes, Granny D, that race was called for him before the polls even. It was. I was so disgusted. Do not use other. Okay, I won't use other. Oh my gosh. I'm just saying I'm white. For 2030, I'm going to be white. If he makes it go now, I'll be white. The next one, I'll be what I'm supposed to be. Right, Roberta? I will also never understand why they didn't investigate that before the race was called. That's probably why so many people stayed home, because they thought there was no point in going out. And they're not supposed to do that. Roberta says, Michelle, when I was in high school and we had to fill out government paperwork, I always told everyone just write in American. I was in college before I understood. Actually, I didn't understand. I asked somebody and had them explain it to me. Roberta, we are at war. All bets are off. Forget the rules and let the chips fall where they may. I believe my vote may have been discounted because I'm female. Oh, Chris, don't say that. Oh, don't say that. Oh, I hope not, because that means all of us lost our votes. No, because they've shown the polls. They've shown the breakdown. Women were counted. Black women were 92%, and they counted the women. Be careful of the wolf in sheep's clothing. Remember Senator Manchin? No. Was he a cross-dresser? I did not know about him. Manchin? I told you I wasn't in politics. Now ask me about medicine. I can tell you about that. Joseph Anthony Manchin III, businessman and who served as United States Senator from West Virginia. Okay, let's see what we can find out about the man. He is 77. 2010 to 2025, he was a senator from West Virginia, Virginia's only congressional Democrat until he registered as an independent in 2024. Announced that he would not run for re-election in 2024. He left the Democratic Party to become an independent and later clarified that he would not run for any office, ending speculation that he might be a candidate in the 2024 United States presidential election. Okay. So how do we go from Manchin to Biden? Thank you, Michael. Appreciate it. And thank you for being a lurker. You know I love you. My dear darling, MDL says Mackin was a Democrat who always voted as a Republican. Well, that wasn't nice of him. Why would you do that? And then he wanted to be an independent. See, I got fam in the house taking care of me. They know I don't know this stuff. Love you, MDL. Hug Panda for me when he gets home. It's Tuesday. Is Panda home? Okay, where was I? I left off at Mackin. Oh. Okay, on the investigation of the election, I heard they are finding discrepancies. I was like, what took so long? They realized it's only been 6 months. They should have realized it before the inauguration because they had to certify the vote before the inauguration. I wish they'd hurry up and do something about those discrepancies, like oust his arse and get the real winners in. High five, Granny. Oh, if they don't want a Black woman in, what's the difference with Obama? Me and Mom were so happy he got in because she's a woman. Who was Obama against anyway? I don't remember who he ran against. But Black women fall below Black men. So it's black women. I want to say white women, black men, and then white men. That's what I want to say, but I might have that backwards. Because usually, if a white woman says something against a black man, they believe her before they believe him, which is why I'm saying that. Yeah, Obama was the bomb. And they always talked about him and complained about him, but he did a whole lot more. Roberta, they found out that Kamala did have more votes, but once it was certified, they could not change it. And Richards. I had the Richards part right. There's Michael. Renaming a ship because it was named after a gay activist, the U.S. Naval Service Harvey Milk. Like, seriously? That's when you know they are bigots and homophobes. Oh, remember they wanted to rename the, what is it, Amelia Gay because gay was in the name? Yep, she was a Democrat. That was 1992. It's been a long time. Darcy, I don't know, but there has to be a loophole. Yeah, there has to be. There has to be. It's but we'd have to get out the whole string. T and Nixon have the same advisor, Roger Stone. He's still alive? Oh, help me, Lord Jesus. Help me, help me, help me. Help me. Exactly. I knew he wouldn't be able to come up with a Bible verse. But he's got the Trump Bible. Roberta, I agree with you about a loophole, but once it's certified, that's it. But it was falsely, well, she certified it. She was doing what. Then why are they still counting if they can't do anything once it's been certified? Why spend the money hiring people to look into the discrepancies if there's nothing we can do about it? Grounds for congressional removal if they can get the majority. They can't. Al Green tried. Congress is not going to do anything as long as MAGA Mike takes them in the back room and promises them whatever they want to get their vote. We're never going to get anywhere as long as he can bribe the people. And that should not be allowed. And there are so many things that should not be allowed. We shouldn't allow PACs. We shouldn't allow the bribery. Now that they're letting the money come in from Russia, you just bend over and grab your ankles. All of you Republicans, because you sold your soul. Yes, Michelle, silence is approval. Dementia, Donnie has no soul. Right now, I don't think any of them have any soul or morals, no humanity. And Michael would know. Michael, how can we get get the people in charge of the Geneva Convention to come over here and do something about this alligator Alcatraz and El Salvador? Because that is cruel and inhumane treatment. We need to be able to do something, right? I thought a lot of Hakeem and Corey, but they need to really get tough. They need to, because they are really, really, really dropping the ball. 1 minute, they're all up in their faces, and then the next minute they're standing there saying, there's nothing we can do. Michael says, I would love to see I know. We all wanted that, but she said never, never. And even when she was up speaking for Kamala, she says, "You all know I don't do politics." She would. Ooh, could you see Kamala and Michelle on the same ticket? I wish Michelle would. I wish she would. She says, I don't do politics. I wish she would. Corey is a Democrat of convenience. I had great hopes for him. Michael, he sold his soul, and that's why he's rotting from the inside. She would be fantastic. I think personally that women hold other women to a much higher standard. And that's what Michelle said. She says, why are we accepting all of this from Trump and we're holding Kamala to a much higher standard? And I forgot who it was, but they interviewed some man, and he said that the Black and Latino men would not vote for her because they just would not vote for a woman. The Latino men would not vote for a woman. Which lie about Hillary are we talking about that Bernie persisted in repeating? It wasn't Bernie, it was the orange man. Something about her using her cell phone or an unencrypted line or something, doing email, and that it was illegal, and he was going to prosecute her and send her to jail. And so people were not voting for her because they thought she was going to jail. And when the ruling came out, they said that there was no grounds to pursue any kind of court action. This was all about email. But it's okay for Hexeth and all of them to do, was it Snapchat or whatever they're using? That's okay. I believe she's had her surgery already. Mm-hmm. I believe she had her surgery a couple of years ago. And she was down there at Mar-a-Lago for New Year's Eve. But that was okay. Mm-hmm. I could care less what you want to be. It doesn't affect me one bit. I don't think anyone who is not involved should have a say in it. It's not our place and never will be. Let them bleed. Amen. Amen, amen, amen. And that's the thing. And I'm sorry, what other people do in their bedroom is nobody's business. As long as they are grown and they are not in any kind of abusive relationship and it's consensual by both parties, it is nobody else's business. Yes, Pinky, they transition, get away from the trans. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, he I think he had a surgery a couple years ago, so he is really that's a full another life. And the only reason I say don't ask, don't tell is so that people don't get persecuted, because it's nobody's business. It's nobody's business. You can love men, you can love women, you can love men and women. It's nobody's business. Unless you're snatching people off the streets. Or unless you're pursuing people who don't want to be pursued. Or unless you're stalking people. It's nobody's business. If you want to go to the military, fine. If you're not being cornered in the shower, don't worry about it. At first, it was just the orange guy and Hillary to run, and then Bernie threw a monkey wrench in the game. I had forgotten that. I had forgotten that. I've been doing well, enjoying my new to me home, and yay! Been working on some complicated paintings for a couple of upcoming birthdays. I'm actually working on a painting currently. Loopy, that's awesome. That is awesome. Congratulations on the move. Drag up the one drop business and use it how you wish. I could go multiple ways. The answer I got when I asked that question was, whatever your father is, that's what you are. If your father's black, you're black. If your father's white, you're white. Whatever your father is, that's what you are. It was 3 people running the orange guy, Hillary, an independent, then Bernie came into the picture. See. You are so far behind in the chat. Am I more than 10 minutes behind in the chat? Oh my gosh. Well, at least I'm consistent on all channels. Someone drag her out of the rabbit hole. I'm coming. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. They knew the discrepancy, just not enough to take to court. See. Oh, McCain. Okay. Yeah, her. What did I call her? Obama could speak and spoke well. Yes, he could. Missed having a president who could speak and you would listen. He has started stuttering more in his interviews. He started stuttering more than I stutter. And he did not used to stutter. They took out, yes, they did. And they took their names off of the Arlington National Cemetery database site. So if you have them in the Arlington National Cemetery, their names are no longer on the database site. Obama was very right. He really was. And so was Michelle. She's very well spoken. Can we insert the effing with no Can we put sand in the lube? I'm just saying, just a little saying. Sam, welcome in. You think it's promises that get the reps to vote? Oh, Mike wants them. Sorry, my nose is just taking after Granny D. You think it's promises that get the reps to vote? Oh, Mike wants them too. Nope, smell what I am brewing. Trump has dirt on the whole lot of them. Blackmail pure and simple. Oh, there is that, because he did out one of them. He was in the closet and he did out him. No, it was a Air Force carrier that they took the name off because it says gay. They went through they put gay in the database, and whatever had gay in it, they scrubbed it. No stock trading. That is all of them. See. They need to clean up their act. They really do. Nothing, as Geneva Convention covers only war/conflicts between countries. Damn, I was afraid you'd say that. Oh, it's inhumane. I'm sorry. It is just inhumane. And we just keep writing letters. Pure Michelle, where ignorant RFK is. Oh, poo. Ding. Yeah, I'm behind. Can we go to The Hague for crimes against humanity? What does Michael say about that? Using her cell phone. Oh my God, that's irony. Yeah. But he was going to put her in jail for that. Okay, baby, go take your treatment. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I'm going to get off here when I get to the bottom of the chat. I thank each and everyone for being here because you all are the bomb. The thing about Kamala that hurt her was that us Democrats didn't pick her or get the chance to pick her. She was force-fed to us. I think the thing that hurt her, number one, she only had 108 days, and I think she did a fantastic campaign in 108 days. The second thing is that those Muslims in Dearborn were believing Trump instead of believing her. That whole Muslim Islamic thing that was going on, that had her in a twist. And whoever her handler was, instead of them letting her go out and do her thing, they were giving her talking points, and the talking points were not conveying to the middle class everything that they wanted to know. I understood where she was coming from, but everybody kept saying they didn't know her, they didn't know what she stood for, they didn't know how she would do XYZ. And I don't know how come they didn't understand it, because she was telling them, but she wasn't really putting it on a level where they understood. I don't know what the problem was. I think if she had had more time, if she had had the whole 3 years, she would have had a greater chance. Leave me alone, Michelle. Leave me alone. I'm trying. I lost my stuff, and I had to go find it. And heck, Melania and the second lady, because the second lady's parents were immigrants. Yes, Michael, but if we had voted in Biden and something happened, we were voting for her, which she would have been in, which would have been great. My father was a complete, I'm sorry. So does that make you a jackass as well? My father is a couple of profane words. Is there a box for that? Oh, that you have to write that in under other. Shelley, I can understand that feeling. My father is a complete, oh my gosh. Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard. It's really hard. It's really hard. You wonder if your siblings could be. I think they are all a part of the same pedophile ring linked back to Epstein. You know what? When I was talking about the cabinet, I was trying not to say pedophile, but I agree with you. I so agree with you. I was trying hard not to put that word out there. That's why I used the other word, but I agree. I do. The Enola Gay was the plane that dropped the nukes on Japan. You all are the bomb. If Jackass is on the list, then a lot of us will be related. Alligator Alcatraz is just the newest shiny object to detract us from the 15-year-old procured by Epstein and Co. Oh, Lord, now we got to do a DNA for Jackass. That's what I thought, Michael. Sorry for spelling. That's okay, because you all are fantastic. I had the gay part right. I don't know what I called her first name. We know how I am, and we know that I rely on you all to correct whatever I'm thinking. And you all are fantastic. You all are fantastic. You know what I mean. Kind of. Shelley, I agree. She would not want to be deported, but she wouldn't mind being relocated, which is why she's in New York. Peter File. Sam. Yeah, she would be happy. She would be happy. She would be happy to go. Oh my gosh, I think she is so done with him. I think she also did not think that he would still be here. She figured she'd get an older person who would be gone shortly, and then she would have all the money. That's not what she got. He's been hanging on a lot longer than she thought he would. It is 4:30, everybody. We've been here for 2 hours and 30 minutes. Holy smokes. I would like to thank everybody who has spent the last 2 hours and 30 minutes here with me. I'm so sorry to have kept you all so long. I'm sorry I was so far behind in the chat and I lost my links. So the links will be in the description along with how you contact your peoples and you can tell them how we feel about it. And don't forget to go to Zillow and find an empty home in the area you're interested in so you can talk to them. I'm going to look for one in Louisiana. I have some words for MAGA Mike. She's all like, why is he? Yeah, she is. She's like, he woke up again. OMG, seriously? Is his handler and followed orders. That's why she didn't leave. Oh, honey, they what is it? They redid the prenup and she has things she has to do to get the money. I didn't think you could redo a prenup. He laughing at me, just realized the time when the conversation. It is, Michael. I just happened to look down here going, holy smokes. Because I came on at 2 and I was actually here at 2 and I clicked both buttons. So I wasn't sitting here talking to myself, even though I did lose my links. I had no idea. Yeah, it is. Time really flies when you have good conversation and when we're trying to untangle what's going on in our country and figure out what we can do about it. So we've got our letters to write, where our taxes are going, what they're doing in the country that we didn't get a vote on, and their inhumane treatment of these people. That seriously needs to stop. It really, 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 really does. Because that's not what America is. Oh, thank you, Crystal. I appreciate that. Crystal, is your husband off yet? Is he driving you home? Darcia says, but she might give him a little help. She waited too long. She should have done that before. She should have. The things some people do for money. Melania is a prime example. I could never imagine sleeping with that orange turd. She probably doesn't anymore. She had to at least once because she got barren, but they probably have, well, they do have separate bedrooms now because she's in New York. Oof, horrible thing to imagine. I know, but still. Yep, a post-nup. But I would think she would have asked for more. She probably did, and they probably said no. She probably asked for more. Headed home now. Oh, good, Crystal. I'm glad. Michael, not for any amount. See, there are some. That's what happens when you have people with no integrity. They'll do whatever they can for money and for prestige. They have no integrity. It is a nightmare. I can't imagine. Oh, no, I couldn't. Even in his younger years, the pictures of him when she was meeting him, when they were first introduced, no. I am banned from Chanel because of you. Was Chanel on the list from Goods Unite Us? I'm banned from a lot of things. So like I have to look in the app and go, can I buy you? You gave to him? Yeah, no, sorry. I'm not giving you any more money. And I've done some stuff that's a red line. See, and you're still here, aren't you? The prenup has been rewritten so many times the ink doesn't dry before it's rewritten again. Sam, oh my gosh. Or they can use that that erasable ink so they can just erase it and put in a new clause. Oh, that's too funny. Sam, have you had your coffee yet? You're awake now. Shelly says, we've all done some stuff, allegedly. Someone said once. Michael, did you look at FO Friday and see the Tunisian vest that Aida posted? If not, I will copy it over to the group and tag you in it. You will love it. It is the bomb. Laughing. Like, seriously, who buries their ex-wife at a golf course? Who buries their ex-wife at a golf course that floods? She's in marshland with no headstone. Why would his children allow him to do that? That's their mother. There's 3 of them against him. They had no more regard for her than that. Plus, isn't that against some kind of state statute or something? See? I haven't yet. I am so behind on lives. Okay, I'll put it in the group. I know, he is insane. And somebody needs to have a cognitive test done on him. And then told them not to mow. Whoa. No. They mean his ex-wife, when she passed, he buried her at Mar-a-Lago in the marsh instead of a cemetery. I wonder how Melania feels about that. Is she going to be buried next to her? And you know what? At this point in time, who really cares what he was doing back in the 70s? Because what he's doing now is worse. Epstein Files is over and done. This stuff that he's doing in 2025, this is what he needs to be burned for. Sam is saying it's supposed to be Ivanka, but supposedly the files instead. I got no words for that. So then the question is, where is Ivanka? Or isn't Ivanka the daughter and Ivana was the mother? I can't remember. But still, that's what was reported. I did not look. The papers are in there with her that they claim they can't find. Oh, wow. Can we do an exhumation? That's horrible. I got nothing. I got nothing. I got nothing. That is so flippin', but every time I say he can't do anything else to infuriate me, Sam, he does. And that, oh, I'm sorry. This was the party of law and order, wasn't it? Because the Democrats were all crooks and thieves. They're bringing law and order back to the government. Is that what we were told? Now I'm doing my in person. I'm channeling my inner Reese Waters. Girl, Camille, I have no words for this. This is beyond my poor little feeble brain being able to comprehend. I don't know how a person. This is not a movie. This is more corruption than I can chew. I know you eat an elephant one bite at a time, but I can't even bite this. OMG. And people let him get away with that. If it's obvious to you, it was obvious to the pallbearers, and nobody said anything. Now that you've made me speechless, you're going, oh, thanks, Roberta. I love you, though. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. When you are cremated, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. You get an urn that you can hold in your hand, or you get a little wooden box. I bought an urn. You can buy urns off of Amazon. Yeah, the god awful op. And it's not a republic anymore. Like, I wake up and like, what DF is the BS today? I know. It's gotten to the point now when I get my notifications, I just look and see what the topic is before I decide whether or not I'm going to open it. Because sometimes it's so bizarre. I say, I can't today. I have started taking Don Lemon's advice, and there are times when I just turn off the TV and I walk away because I can't take the cruelty and the inhumanity and the just downright stupidity. And I'm sitting there going, I know that's illegal, and I didn't go to law school. If I know it's illegal, they know it's illegal. But like they said earlier, they know it's going to court. They're going to bump it up to the Supreme Court so they can make it into law, so they can have all of the states do it. And no. Or a bag, girl. See. I just got to crochet and ignore sometimes. Can't take it. Yeah, I have gotten real good at these little revenge tales on YT because they're light and you don't really have to think about it. And yes, I finally got back and I got my Crojo back because I had to step away from politics because it was getting too heavy. And there was so much stuff going on that we can't do anything about. So it was getting so hard to find things that we could actually do something about. And I want to thank everybody today that helped me pull out the things that we can actually do something about. These poor brown people who are being tortured. And I'm saying tortured because they've taken out of their homes and their jobs and their families and sent to El Salvador and put in a concentration camp, or sent to Gitmo and put in a concentration camp, or now they're going to be in Alligator Alcatraz, and the poor babies that are taken away from their nursing mothers. It's just pure inhumane just because they are brown. And I really wish I had the time to go through all of their lineages and find the Black and brown people in their lineage, because as has been told to me by a bigwig in the genealogy world, any family who has been here over 250 years has African American in their DNA. And if they do their DNA, they'll find at least 1% if you've been here longer than 250 years. My DNA matches don't have the 1%, but I got their 1%. They can claim me if they want. I got the documentation. But yeah, so they're not. The only one who's pure is 45 and a half because his grandfather came over from Germany. That's the only reason he's pure, because he was new. My niece calls me and, well, can we sleep tonight? My mom had a casket for a Catholic funeral mass and her cremains were inside. Number of pallbearers? Don't know. Okay. There is a daily rant at my house, though. It depends upon Shorty looks at me now and she's like, do we like that? And I'm like, no. She says, okay, you can't be doing that. She'll look at me and she's like, do we like that? And I'm like, yeah, that's okay. She's like, oh, okay, go ahead. My brother fell out. Appalachia's deadliest. Keep finding relatives. Keeps me entertained or horrified. They keep finding relatives? Oh, where do you have that, Shelley? Is that where do you watch that? Is that on YT? I might be afraid because we both go back to Basil. Is it on the Hayden side? If it is, I may not want to watch it. All it takes for evil to succeed is for good men to do nothing. Sam, go ahead. Tell them about themselves, and that's what's happening. We all have at least 1% Neanderthal. Me? Oh, you do? Okay. Western Bantu peoples. Go ahead with your bad self. See, that's the only one I don't have. I don't have any Bantu. That must be on your other side. That is too cute. Parmelia Warren on YT. Girl. Parmelia Warren. Thank you, cuz. See, yeah, I had to step back a little bit because they're doing too much. You laughing at Michael. What did Michael say? Wait a minute, I missed that. Michael jumped when I was trying to hit him. My genealogy is wrong. I know I have a little Puerto Rican in me every now and then. But you weren't born with that in you. That's the difference. That's the difference. We never mind. I'm not gonna say that. Yeah, no. I was getting ready to say, yeah, no. It's not 9 o'clock yet, so I can't do VJ After Dark. You get some Italian in you every now and then. I love it. I love it. Oh, cool. Welcome in. Sorry, my phone died. Been turning circles trying to get back on. I was early dying on TV, so I'm over here screaming. Welcome in. Welcome in. I am so sorry your phone died because I didn't realize I had been on so long until my computer started flashing me. It's like, you're on battery saver. And I'm like, oh. It used to be Congo, Cameroon, and WBP. Now it's just WPB. And Parmelia is an awful assassin. Oh, I may not want that. Yeah, I got Congo, Cameroon. Now I have to go look again. I know it's Nigerian. You're laughing so hard. I know. I No. Swab, no. Guess that makes me Black and Native as well. Welcome to the fam. Welcome to the fam. I beg my brother and sister to test. Both are 25%. Really? And they won't do it? What if you give them tests for Christmas? Is Kate Davy on my Kindle finally? Kate, can't you be online when your phone is okay? I asked this from somebody the other day and I did not see the answer. I can plug my phone in and charge my phone up and still be online. Can't you charge your phone while you're online? I'm just asking. I've got an Android. If you have an iPhone, educate me. Wow. What a day we've had. We've got our homework. I've got to put the links in the description to the clips I've shown today because, yes, I give the people their prompts. I go through and see what everybody has dissected, and then we talk about it and decide what we can do something about, because we're not just going to sit here and let them act crazy and we don't tell them about themselves. I don't mind telling them about themselves. Not mine is Android as well, but I ran it dry. Oh, you ran it dry. Yeah, you have to plug it in until it at least gets 3%, and then you can go online. Sorry for the adult humor. Just thought we all need a laugh. Oh, honey, don't be sorry, because I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that, and I almost took it to a whole nother level. And you know what happens when you and I get together, so don't be sorry. And yes, we needed a laugh. And you see, I blinked a couple of times before I got it, because I was like, every now and then, oh, I loved it, Michael. I loved it. Don't know, but Grandma Milagros had a mulatto stepmother. Well, that's a stepmother, so she shouldn't have any. Well, you know what? I'm going to stay out of that one. Because she's a step, so there was no blood. Tell him that was a good one. That was a great one. Mulatto on census, not my words. Okay. Interesting. Yes, laughter is good for the soul. And you know what? After all of our heavy lifting today, we needed humor. And you know what, Michael? That is a great idea. I'm going to see if we can't end our little sessions with a little humor, because that will lighten up what we're doing, since what we're doing is really serious, because what they're doing is really crazy. And that is a fantastic idea. Thank you, Michael and Sam and everybody. Everybody, give yourself a round of applause. This has been an absolutely fantastic live, and I thank each and everyone for being here. And we got homework to do, and we got to see what we can do about these crazies. So it is, it's dinner time for most of us. And those of you on the East Coast, I know Crystal's in the car. Kate, have you had dinner yet? We always usually end up talking about food. You are welcome, Camille. Thank you for being here, and please come back again. You were good fun. All I know is that those two tan Nigerian girl, see, by the way, proud to be in the fam. You are so welcome. Appreciate having you here, because girl, you've got a lot of knowledge. You really do. I love talking to you. I really, really do. Everybody have a blessed evening. Thank you, Dinky Jen. And Jen, you and Sam, I really appreciate your support, because this doesn't affect you two directly, but you're always here supporting, and you're always here helping, and I appreciate you both. So thank you. Sam, and of course, okay. Bye, Camille. Bye, everybody. Be safe, socially distanced, because you know we have people who are not taking care of us, so we have to take care of ourselves. Or wear your mask, do whatever you need to do to protect yourselves. And if the Lord says the same, I will see you all next Tuesday if you can make it. For those in America, have a happy and safe 4th of July. Take care now. Bye-bye.